Hello there, random person that may have come across this channel or video. Haven't made much effort to promote it or do anything like that, so it is what it is. But if you're watching, thanks for watching. The topic of today's video is promotion as a white belt. So I actually, bam, yes, I'm wearing my belt, just to show you guys. I got promoted yesterday to the third stripe, white belt, and I actually had one stripe um, prior to the promotion, so I think maybe they were just catching up or whatnot. Um, when I got called up to be promoted, he was putting one stripe on, and I was getting ready to bow and shake his hand, and then he started putting the second one on, and I was like, oh wow. And I even said, I didn't know this could happen. Professor Carlos said something to the degree of, sometimes we can make things like this happen. But really, I think it was just time based. Like maybe I was there long enough. I've been going consistently every week, minimum 3 times a week. So I think maybe time just elapsed enough for me to get the stripe. But that being said, I wanted to talk about more about what it feels like to be promoted and what it means, at least from my perspective, right? So I wasn't raised in a jiu-jitsu family. I don't know anyone who's ever grappled, and I don't have any prior grappling experience prior to Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And so getting promoted, it does feel great, right? Because it's a mark that it's a sign that you've been there, that you're putting in work, and it's being recognized. Um, it doesn't necessarily mean like your knowledge base is any bigger, although with the time you would hope that it is. Um, but it's also not like my motivating force for trying to progress in jiu-jitsu. If anything, the promotions just come as a side effect of just putting in the time, work, and effort. Um, so after being promoted, personally, I didn't feel any different. I was happy that maybe I could change my flair on our BJJ on Reddit. But beyond that, it really didn't mean anything other than just the acknowledgement of me being there. So I want any person again who's considering jujitsu, or maybe they just join and okay, they're like me, they start looking for other sources for inspiration, advice, philosophy, that kind of thing. Um, this is for me to share with you that the time you're spending there should not be in pursuit of the stripe or the belt. If you want to have an organic, holistically healthy way of participating in BJJ. For me, the point of joining Brazilian Jiu Jitsu was to just improve my physicality, as in, yes, I want to look better, but I also wanted to know my body better than I did, not being much of an athlete or having any kind of prior experience in this realm. I just kind of wanted to improve my relationship with my body, but also gain a degree of confidence, especially in a world where it's mostly civil, but there are things that can happen, and sometimes if you know you're not necessarily looking for trouble, sometimes maybe trouble can find you. And I just wanted the confidence to be able to handle myself in certain situations. I mean, obviously, if a guy's got a gun to my face, I'm not going to be like, let's try a hip toss. I'm going to just gonna try to talk and grovel my way out of it, and try and let the situation pass. I mean, even if someone has a real issue with me and they want to try to take it to a physical level, I've never been the like quick to fighting type. So just naturally, I wouldn't really resort to go like, yeah, let's go. But it's really a last resort. Someone comes and then they want to grab me. Then it's like, okay, now you violated that space and you violated civility. So now it's time for me to be able to enact the kind of control that I've learned. through jiu-jitsu. So um, let promotions come when they do. Don't count the time necessarily, and don't count the stripes. Don't worry about the belt color. If you just go consistently, eventually you'll get a black belt. I mean, that's just how, I always hear the black belts say that black belts are just white belts that didn't quit. So, just understanding and hearing that philosophy has really helped me internalize correctly what these promotions really mean. So, again, for me, they're not the driving factor, they're just a pleasant side effect. You get a little recognition in front of your team. Um, but what's also really cool about that is watching other people get promoted too. Especially for me, right? I'm a white belt, watching people go from white to blue. You're just like, oh my God, you made it out. It's like you made it out of the crab pot, you know? So congratulations. And and everyone congratulated me at the end of class, and it felt really good. But now it's just time to keep my head down and keep training, and keep getting better. I have decided to enter my first competition, Revolution, in July. So I'll just be not like training for that, like a fight camp, but I will have that in mind and understand that there is an objective, a short term objective that I've placed for myself in this competition. But even in the competition mindset, I'm not going to smash and win. I'm really just going to experience, to kind of see who I am under pressure, and to kind of gauge where I am maybe. And that's really, even gauging where you are, especially against other white belts. I mean, you never know the history of your opponent, or so the opponent, while that's what competition brings, for me, the opponent isn't really the objective. For me, it's maybe getting in shape, focusing on a short-term goal, and trying to understand who I am better. So once the competition comes, I'll post more about that, and I'll try to get footage of my match. So win or loss, I just really just want to have fun and understand a little bit more about myself. So that was all about promotions. If you've just joined Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, congratulations. Please keep going to class. And for me, I found it's really important to go on the days that you don't want to go. Now, if you're physically ill and you maybe, it's contagious or something, don't go. If you're physically injured, don't force it. I mean, you have time. But if you're just feeling like, yeah, I'm not sure if I should go today, go. Just keep going. So, I appreciate your time. See you guys on the next one.